Hey gamers, how's it poppin'? Better than you, which means terrific. God, that's so stupid. That's so dumb. If that's a clue, yeah. Finished Xenoblade X finally, or the definitive edition, obviously after that amazing peak comedy reference. And you know, normally I like give my little review of a game, a bit of a paragraph or two, my thoughts on it when I'm done on like socials and backlog, which yeah, I have a backlog. If people want that, I'll probably link it in the description, and maybe first comment if people care about my gaming taste and what I've been gaming or what I've played, reviews on past games that I just, you know, I started this year, I started posting my reviews on there of games that I played, because I like to beat a game each month, whether how small or big it is. But yeah, anyways, Xenoblade X, back on topic. Xenoblade X, finally finished that, and yeah, I'm like kind of like, as a Xenoblade guy, like, you know, 90% of my videos are pretty much Xenoblade. It's almost like I like that series. Which, ooh, you may not know this, but I do. Anyways, let's talk. I want to give my thoughts on everything, because I didn't record it. I don't know why, I just didn't. Which, I mean, honestly speaking, you know, I'm not as disappointed or beat myself up over for not recording it, like how I did for like Xenoblade 2 and 1, even though at those times I didn't have like a capture card to do that. The 3, I'm very much glad I have it, and now the main story is like fully posted. I haven't, to date this video, I haven't posted Future Redeemed obviously yet. I will probably get around to it. I just have not obviously been uploading it lately, but it's not live work. Anyway, I'm so off topic. Happy. Crotchy, I'm British now. Even though there's like no British people in that game besides like Salika and Neil Nail. Anyways, Xenoblade X is done. Do I like the game? Case in point, if people just want to know if I like the game, yes, I do like the game. But yeah, I know it sounds like very Winston saying but after it, I'm not a huge fan as it compared as to like the trilogy. I would not put Xenoblade X on the same pedestal that I have the trilogy on, because like the trilogy is like my favorite game ever. Like I can't even choose between the two. Like some days I say, yeah, Xenoblade 2 is my favorite. Some days I say 3. Sometimes I say 1. They just kind of, they're just my number one. They're just my number one favorite game. And when I say I do my ranking of each games that I do each year, I like to, like I just put Xenoblade 2 is the first, because when you type in Xenoblade Chronicles, it goes in numerical alphabetical. So 2 comes first, then 3, then D. The letter, you know, D, it's the definitive edition. So it's just how it turns out, and I just leave it like that. But I love those games so much. Those are like 11 out of 10s. Like they're broke the scale. They're amazing. Well, Xenoblade X is a really good game, but not on the par of the trilogy. And, you know, let's just go down the list of things that I kind of have in my head planned out. Story. I don't think it's really much of a hot take to say the story is not as good compared to the trilogy. I still enjoyed it. Like, I enjoy the story. I think it's, you know, it's cool. I mean, as a Xenoblade fan, I like, you know, I love my sci-fi fantasy. This game is definitely very more sci-fi, with like, you know, humanity left Earth and had to flee to a new planet. That was so cool. I like that. Like, then just exploring the new world and figuring like the mysteries out. Like, I enjoyed it. But I kind of like. Okay, we're gonna be all over the place for this video. This is gonna be like just my ramblings, if it's not already clear as it is. But I kind of not the hugest fan of the story, how it is presented. Like, I like the idea, like how like each story thing is like a mission and you go and do it, but like the early missions really don't, I feel like, have an overarching importance to the overall narrative of the game. Because like the main point, like the story is, alright, you flee Earth, head to Mira, and we have to find the Lifehold to, you know, stop humanity dying. Because once the Lifehold goes, once the battery goes beep beep, I'm out of juice, humanity's just over. So yeah, not good, and we have to do that. And that really only starts to becoming like, I think is it chapter? It's like chapter 4, because that's when you, yeah, chapter 4 is like when you start finding it, and then like chapter 5's kind of whatever. And then it goes on, and like there's some things that happen, but like the chapters feel like way too short at times. And like the presentation for them is not as like, you know, intense or like well paced as like the trilogy is, where like you have the story is the main goal of the game, like this, yeah, to get to the end obviously. Well, each game is like that, but like the story is very much a central focus. While this game is like the story is important, but you have the side content, and like that's the thing with Xenoblade X, is that like obviously its side content and main story content are like more hand in hand, like there's hands, while like for like Xenoblade 1 for instance, story is the main central focus, and side content and side quests aren't as important. Like you get more lore and with like heart to hearts and things like that, but side content X is very more a thing, which I'm fine with. I obviously love the side content in these games, and it's cool doing like the side content in X and seeing how it shapes the foundation for later games. Like Affinity missions are basically just Blade quests, and then like the hero quests are just the evolved version of that even more so. And I like, it's like, oh, cool to see like how Monolith had the ideas back all the way here and they just put them in, you know, later games. Like, I haven't really talked about it, but like going into Xenoblade X, I knew very little about the game. I tried to avoid spoilers. I had it, like, I think muted, so like, I just didn't want to see stuff about it. I just wanted to go into it blind, even way before Definitive Edition was announced. I didn't want to know anything. And the few things I did know were like Alma, because she's in Xenoblade 2 as a guest appearance, which on top of that I knew about Overdrive, which we'll get to Overdrive. We will get to Overdrive. And then like a comment I would always see a lot is how Xenoblade X is pretty much like a black sheep of the series, or just like it's very different, which yeah, no, it definitely is. After playing it and completing it, yeah, no, it is definitely 1000% nothing like the trilogy, which isn't bad. Just because different doesn't mean it's bad. And that's coming from someone who like, I love Super Paper Mario, and that game is completely different and not like the first two games, and I love the first two games like more, but like I still love Super Paper Mario. And no, we don't need to talk about Paper Mario. We don't need to get me on my tangent about a certain game that came after Super. If we're talking about good games here, we only talk about good games here, like Xenoblade. I forgot my complete train of thought when I talked about that. Oh yeah, but yeah, it's like seeing how things played out like back then, and just in how things shaped. Like Future Redeemed, pretty much like how the Collectopedia works, and it like funds how your characters get stronger for exploring. That's like very much like Xenoblade X like coded. That's pretty much just like Xenoblade X, which I like. But I feel like this is gonna be a hot take. This might be a hot take, so this is also definitely maybe more of a me issue, but I'm not the biggest fan of how side content is required for the main story. And what I mean by that is, like for side quests required for main story, I'm okay with that. That's fine. Like Xenoblade, you know, all the Xenoblade games have things like that, like side quests basically in main story. That's fine. Or Affinity missions in X's case is pretty much just more of how the story is. There's more story that's required for it. I'm fine with that. It's just survey rank. And survey rank is an issue that I have for like the early game, and then it, like not much of an issue. And my reasoning is, well, this is obviously a me thing. Visually impaired. It's hard for me to see. And Xenoblade X out of all these games is definitely not the most blind friendly. Like even some of its UI is kind of hard to see for me. And I know like it was apparently a lot worse in the original game, and it's definitely, you know, I guess better. Here, I've looked a little bit at X original. I've just seen clips of the game before this. There's a few things I knew about it. And like, yeah, it's hard to see, and it still kind of is, but you know, the Switch 2 does have, or not Switch 2, the Switch 1 and Switch 2. I played it on Switch 1 too, by the way. Obviously, because I don't have my Switch 2 yet. Okay, I'm all over the place. Anyway, back on topic. It does have the zoom, so I was able to zoom in on like text and be able to read it. Like for like tutorials, it's sometimes the text with the plop-ups are kind of hard to see. But like, I'm not the hugest fan of how, even like ignoring like the visual parent, I'm not sure how I like how you're required to go out and explore the world, yet like you're supposed to, like, to up your server rank, you have to find data probes that are already marked on the map, and it's like they feel like you have to go here to up the survey rank. And I'm like, yes, it tells you where it is, which is good for that, But like, I don't know. Plus like the map's not too great, I feel like, for like trying to figure out if something's high up or below you, compared to like obviously Xenoblade 1 where it has like the different layers. Xenoblade 3 I guess has the same issue, but I do think Xenoblade 3 and obviously 1, its tracker is definitely better. And that's another thing I kind of have an issue with this game, is the tracker isn't really that great. And plus, you have to kind of pretty much unlock the chapter till chapter 3. So my early game experience with Xenoblade X was not great. Because when you start in the starting area, that area is so dark for me, and I struggled a lot trying to figure out how to get out of there. It was really dark, and you didn't have the tracker, like the follow ball. And I feel like that should have been a thing at launch. I know you get it in like story and as a lore reason, but like, I don't know. I feel like I would have kind of preferred just to have it at the start or something, and like maybe just, I don't know, something work around that. There's definitely a me issue, because obviously sighted people, it doesn't matter. You can figure it out and you see where it needs to go. This is definitely a 1000% me issue. I'm not gonna fault the game. It's just, you know, my personal experience with it. But like visually, it's kind of hard. And upping survey rank was really hard for like Noctilum for me. Like trying to get to the next chapter was kind of like really hard. Trying to find data probes and trying to find the treasure chests when they kind of blend in is basically, yeah, have a blind person play hide and seek. That was not great. That was not good. But after the Noctilum one, survey rank becomes less of an issue, even though like not Primordia, Oblivia requires more. You get the mech or the scale, and the scale makes it a lot easier. You can just jump up really high, and most of the things are up really high. That wasn't too much of an issue. And then for Sil, I was gonna have to say something else. Sylvanium. I can't even say it. Having a stroke trying to say the places. But like the remaining areas that require survey rank, Cauldros and all that, it's a lot lower. And you have access to like, for like Cauldros, the flight mod, which is definitely a lot easier. It just early game for me was really hard, which, thinking about it, I kinda am not. I mean, early game is just like kind of like probably the biggest problem I have with Xenoblade X, of just exploring wise. Because like the world is definitely tailor-made around having the scale, but you don't have the scale until chapter 6, or after chapter 6, and then you can do the scale license, and flight mod is after chapter 9, which isn't too much later. I kind of wish you got the scale a little sooner. That'd be like kind of nice and help exploring. But I mean, it's not the complete end of the world. I still think, like how I see it is, I probably prefer exploring in Xenoblade like 2, for instance, overall more, since it's just consistently good for me. While like X's early game is not great, but then it gets better when you get access to the scale and then flight mod. And flying around, dude, oh my god, getting the scale was so cool. And then when you get the flight mod, and then when Don't Worry plays, dude, I just kind of, I know it was supposed to go like to E-Insight 10 or 110 to maybe finish the quest, but I just kind of flew around and just like took it all in. That was so cool. I love my mechs. That was awesome. That was so cool. But yeah, that's like the only problem I have, is just the early game for me. And that's just more of just me being blind issue. Overall, it's like not, for someone who's better sighted, not too bad. Like the only thing I would change is giving you access to the fall ball sooner. And honestly speaking too, I'm really kind of surprised. Because like the other games are, I feel like the bright modes, like the brightness settings are really good. And like DE and 3's tracker, I feel like is just better. Because DE has it on the map, it's the dotted line, and 3's, honestly speaking, I kind of did like how when you turn the tracker on, the screen kind of like turns dark for a second, so the tracker, you can see it. At least for me, you can immediately see it, and then you can just like know where it is, while in X is just immediate. And like, if you're in like Oblivia during the day, like that's just impossible for me to see. Because like, I'm also colorblind. And like, it's just really hard. I kind of wish there was like a colorblind setting for the follow ball. Like, if you're in like Oblivia during the day, maybe make it like a darker color, like black, like a lit up black, and then like night it can be like white. Like in like the final area in chapter 13, that area was like really hard for me to maneuver, because like the ground is like so I can't, it's like a really like bright yellow or something, and the fall ball is like white, at least to me, and it's just like really hard to tell. I did like figure out like a cheese kind of strategy before, it was actually turning down the brightness and then the fall ball still like the light ups like the bing sound or whatever, the ball going. I was able to follow that, and it took a lot longer for me, but you know, in the end we still beat it. We still beat chapter 13, still beat the game, so it's fine. I doubt there's. I mean, what is the percentage of blind Xenoblade fans? It's probably not very big. Probably just. I mean, I doubt. I mean, I'm not gonna doubt. There's a chance. There's a chance someone watches this that is, but it's just mainly just me probably. I don't know. There's not a lot of us. Very few that play Xenoblade, especially probably. What else? What else do I want to exploring? Oh, I guess I talked about story. Another thing, yeah, the cast of this game. And, you know, Xenoblade has, like, some of my favorite characters ever. You know, Rex, Shulk, Noah, Mio, Nelia, Alvis, Malos, Pyra, Mithra, Nia. You know, a lot of hitters. And Exit cast doesn't hit the same highs as those characters for me. I still like this game, like the characters in this game. Like Elma's cool, Lynn's just a gremlin, and I love her for it. Just constantly wanting to eat Tatsu. Like she's just a gremlin, and I love her for it. I love her for that. And let's see, like other. I mean, yeah, it's really just Elma and Lynn is I feel like the main people of this game, which I do feel like kind of makes it suffer a little bit. Like, yes, other characters show up, like Gwen, Doug, Arena are there, and like Elle show up. Like for the finale for chapter 12, or I guess base game's finale, chapter 12 they show up, and that was cool. I liked having the whole party like that because it did feel like an actual Xenoblade party. Like you have your whole squad. While throughout the story, it's mainly just Elma and Lynn, and then sometimes Arena's there, sometimes Elle's there, sometimes Lau's there. And like, I kind of wish there was more of that. And speaking of the cast, I guess another thing I don't like about the game, I don't like Cross. And this is not a Cross thing. It's just I am not a fan of silent protagonists. You can never get into it. It's just I don't like them. There are exceptions. Like the only exceptions for me is really just like Persona games with like Joker, because I feel like yeah they're silent, but there is like some personality within like their dialogue options to make them, you know, have some emblems of personality, and I like that. Like those are like the only exceptions for me for silent protagonists. And like self-inserts. I mean, well, self-inserts, it's a little more broader because like I like Alear from Engage, so there's that. And like Robin, you know, obviously from, I was about to say Honkai Star Rail. That's the wrong Robin. I do love that Robin. Oh, not Fates. Oh my god, I'm having a stroke. Awakening. So like there are exceptions, but like Cross is definitely on like the lower end. And like then some of the options like they are better. Like, you know, asking at the final boss of in Act 3, asking Al, how's it poppin'? Like that, there is personality, but it's just I'm not a fan, and I feel like the game would just do better if you just cut Cross out of it. Because like this is basically it feels like Fire Emblem Awakening compared to something where like yes, Robin or Cross is like the main character you create, but like you're along for Chrom story or X's case Elma story. Which speaking of that, that's kind of crazy how there's a lot of people from like the English dub of X has a lot of people from Awakening. Like you have Lau is Chrom, Hope is Lucina, there's Owen in there, there's Celica with Tiki, which that's so funny to me that you have Celica who is voiced by like the Tiki VA, but then you also have Celica Fire Emblem, like her VA's in with Liesel. Obviously that was Definitive Edition added her, which that's one of my favorite VAs. Great job on like all the characters. Like a lot of the characters, like, you know, Celica, Futaba from Persona, like great, awesome VA. I mean, I do like the English dub of this game, and it's like, you know, it's cool because it's all like more American. Like, yeah, America! Because obviously, yeah, it's all from America, New Los Angeles. That's cool. And like, it's kind of funny that like the two British characters, you know, Xenoblade's known for British people, are like the two aliens with Celica and Neonail. Just to say like, yeah, the British people, they're aliens. It's kind of funny if you think about it. I like that. But yeah, I mean, overall, the characters, there are characters I like Elle. I was like just. It's just funny how like Al only learned how to speak English because like Congress was like the new like the Constitution fell on his head and he learned how to read through that or whatever. Poorly describing that, but just like it's kind of funny. But like it doesn't hit like I won't say like, oh yeah, Alma's this like my favorite character. All right, Alma's my favorite character ever compared to like the same tier as like Shulk or whatever. But like I still overall like the main cast I like. I love Celica. Both Celicas, obviously the Fire Emblem one too. Weasel's great, Hope is great, Elle is great. Yeah, there's a lot of them. So like the cast is good, but just not the same highs. Which I've kind of said that too about a lot of things. Pretty much Xenoblade X is good. I feel like people are gonna think that I hate this game. I feel like from like that bit at the beginning where I just talked about like how I didn't care for the opening bit. Or like the first like 5 or 6 chapters of like exploring, which that's not true. I love the game, and you know to prove it to you, let's talk about the combat of this game, bro. As someone who loves the original Xenoblade 1's combat, I love that combat still to this day. To death. I feel like kind of a hot take, because like 2 and 3 are definitely more in depth, and like 2 is like 2 is my first game, and like yeah, sure, going back. You could play Star Wars 2 and going back to like 1, it could be a bit jarring. But I still love Xenoblade combat a lot. Like I've replayed that game so many times. I did a challenge run that maybe eventually will fit. I need to obviously get back to making videos. And this, hey, now that I'm like done with like college, pretty much, or not pretty much, I am. We can get some of that passion back and put it into making videos again, and we can hopefully see. Or to get those challenge runs out that I did. Anyways, though, I love Xenoblade 1's combat. And X is just pretty much, what if we just took Xenoblade 1's combat and just refined it and added an overdrive? And holy shit, overdrive is such a fun mechanic. I absolutely love overdrive. I've messed around with overdrive in 2 a little bit, and yeah, that stuff is broken. That shit is absolutely broken in 2. And good to know. They were faithful to the source material, because, oh my god, overdrive is broken in X, and I love it. It's so fun. The moment you pop that, you just feel invincible with, like, We're Fleegan in the background, which, kind of a funny thing, how we have Xenoblade 1, X, and 3, are, they have a battle theme that interrupts, like, all the other battle themes in the game. Besides, like, literally besides, like, the final boss. And they don't have like a setting to turn it off. And they haven't learned. Monolith doesn't learn. 2 is the only exception. Yeah, 2 doesn't have a song like Visions of the Future, Chain Attack, or We're Fleegan, which is kind of funny. Yet, like all those 3 games, the final boss theme doesn't get cut. Which is like, okay. Whatever. I don't mind. I like We're Fleegan. It's a good song. You feel the power. And like, Overdrive's so fun. And I was expecting to like somewhat struggle with it. Because I remember just like, people talking about or seeing posts about it, a few things before I censored everything, and how like overdrive's this super complex mechanic and it doesn't make any sense. And the original game didn't explain it to you, which, damn, don't tell. Yeah, Xenoblade 2 it doesn't do that either. Apparently, actually, it's worse than the original X, where you have to like, I don't know how true that is, but you have to like view like the in-game manual on the Wii U to get tutorials, and the game doesn't give it to you. So it's like that's crazy. Good job, Monolith, to not giving tutorials and giving misinformation sometimes. That's funny. Good job. But I mean, I found it pretty easy to comprehend for me. I didn't like. I mean, maybe because I've just played Xenoblade a bunch and I'm just able to figure it out. And hey, to be fair, if there's ever something I don't get about a Xenoblade game's combat in the future, from the future, there's always like Anel. Like Anel makes good videos about how the game's combat system works. So even they're fun to watch. Like if you do know the game's combat, like even like when I knew about Xenoblade 2's and understood it, just watching those videos and like you find something random niche thing about it, it's like, oh, I didn't know that. That's cool. Anyways, that's enough. I guess shouting people out, even though I mean, am I really shouting? Is it really a shout out if you talk about someone who's like 10 times bigger than you as a channel? I mean, I don't know. Whatever, doesn't matter. Back to X, talking about, I'm so all over the place. As you can tell, I do not have a script, which I guess makes it more genuine. I don't know. I can't read off a script. If I read off a script, I'm just going to be even worse. I'm going to stutter 10,000 times more than I already normally do. So, just more genuine off the cut like this, I guess is better. But yeah, Overdrive. Oh, dude. Even just outside of Overdrive. I mean, there's so much to say about it. It's so fun. It just like, all your arches are like super like fast charged with like the secondary cooldowns. And like, I guess the tertiary cooldowns, and just doing so much damage, and it's like infinitely being able to chain it pretty much with like, if you have the right build for it. And like Xenoblade X is great for like, you can just do whatever you want. And like the class system is like, you know, it's cool, but I didn't get to mess around with all of the classes, obviously. I mean, just because I finished the game, I'm definitely gonna go back to it. It's just, I'm gonna put it on the side for now, because there's other games I need to work on and I want to play this year. Like, I still haven't got my Switch 2. I definitely want to play the Donkey Kong game, and all I'm hearing is it's amazing, and like, I can't wait to play that next, or whenever I get my Switch 2. But I'm still gonna mess around with the other classes, but like, even just like the ones I mess around with, they're like great. Like, oh my god, dual guns are so fucking broken. Ghost Walker is such an art. One of the arts of all time. Baffling that they aren't even exist in the game. It is just a win button pretty much. And this like longsword is stupidly strong. When I played the game, I went down the duelist line, because my thought process was like, oh, since if I master this line, I'll get I mean, so you start in Drifter and you have a knife and assault rifle art. So I'm like, well, I want to go down either duelist, or I think it's the mastermind line, because yeah, you have knife in that class. I'm like, well, I'll take the assault rifle line, so I still have some arts when I go into that line. And like, there's an art called True Stream Edge, and I'm like, that sounds so stupid of an art name, because like that game has Stream Edge and then True Stream Edge, yet Stream Edge costs TP, but then True Stream Edge doesn't, which is like, I feel like it should be the other way around or something. Like, you could just swap their effects and they just make it like that, but okay. Whatever, it's funny, I guess, that way. I guess True Stream Edge is Nagi's signature, so, or one of his too. But yeah, that's a funny art. And Hercules Blow, also, that's, I mean, a new art with Al. That's an art. So I mean, I knew, yeah, Longsword is definitely, that's a really broken sword. Or not, oh yeah, I guess there's multiple swords in that game, the dual sword, but yeah, Longsword is that strong. But that game is, you could just make whatever build you want. And it was kind of fun actually starting the game and making my character, because I also went down that line. I'm like, well, Elma's kind of like at the start and beginning of the game, because they give you like Infuriate, and I'm like, oh, this is like a tank art. Maybe I'll make like Cross like more of a tank at the beginning, and make Elma the DPS. I'm like, that's kind of cool, because like every Xenoblade game, the main character is always like the attacker, which technically is still true, because Elma is, honestly speaking, she's the main character of X. But it was just kind of cool to like make the main character you play as your like main guy, just like different style. Because like, I guess, I mean, well, Laura from Torna is kind of more, I know she's definitely still like just kind of like a sub DPS in a way, healer with that, and has break. So I mean, it does follow the typical main character attack types, even though it's like more her and Jin, or even just Jin in general is the main. It was like kind of cool about that. And dude, just the comments, it's about soul voices are, you know, very, I love that. Just like how Xenoblade does, because a big thing I love, or I value in like a lot of games, is like how they in battle systems is how your party interacts, and like Xenoblade does that well. Like all the party members are calling out to each other, and I like that. It just makes like your party feel like alive, and like post battle clothes, things like that, just things like that, and I like that. It just makes your party feel alive. I just said that. I'm repeating myself. I guess the only downside about combat in this game, though, is the scale combat, and it's kind of it's like whatever. It's like you just have to spend like a lot of money too to like get your scale and then the weapons for it, and then like, I mean, it does damage. It definitely kills, but it's like not as fun. It's more fun with the scale to like fly around and like jump around with it. I still got the Ares 90 though before the end, because I mean, the Ares 90, it was like so cool looking scale, and oh my god, a Gashira cannon. That stuff is That's a really strong art you got there. That pretty much one shots anything, and I had like I think no augments on it, and it just kills. It's like, oh my god, that's really strong, huh? Really strong. So that's like the only downside with the combat. But ground combat's so fun. Overdrive's so fun. I love Overdrive. It's great. Combat's great. Which isn't really much of a hot take to say a Xenoblade game has good combat. All of them do. I guess the only one you could say has combat or not as good is Future Connected, which it's the shortest Xenoblade game, and in the trilogy it's like the weakest link, which yeah, I still like it though. Definitely more of, I guess, a hot take of say that I like Future Connected compared. I love Future Connected. It's fun for what it is. And so you want to say another not hot take, a very cold take. Yeah, Xenoblade X has good music. Wow. Oh my god. Shocker. Xenoblade game having good music. Whoa. Really good. I'm probably having Xenoblade music, or Xenoblade X music playing in the background of this whole video. Wow, it's great. Who knows what songs I'll choose? It's all good. The music's great. It's done by like, I mean, it's different, not the same as the trilogy, but who said just because it's different, it's not still good. It's great music. Like Weird Fleegan, I've talked about how good that is. Uncontrollable, I've heard before this game, even I played the game, because it's obviously in Xenoblade 2 when you fight Elma, and like unique monsters. If you have that like setting turned on with her in the party, like that's a really good song. The way I love The Way. That might be like, it's in my top for the game. The Way is such a good song, and it's crazy. The first time you hear that song is in a glorified in-universe cutscene. Or, I mean, it's a cutscene, glorified in-universe tutorial. I'm all over the place. And it's just like them talking about like the different like divisions of Blade, and it's just like, yeah, I'm not really paying attention. What's this song? This song is so good. I mean, it is played more, which is good. That song is so, I love that song. The new like, I guess yeah, I think it's like the new like battle theme for Chapter 13. I really like that one. I don't know the names of all of these songs yet because I haven't really looked into the OST that much, besides those few, the ones I knew. And plus, I mean, I know that Xenoblade X OST naming is like a bunch of numbers, which there is like a meaning behind it. I think it's something like the date the song was composed or whatever, and then like the file size or whatever. I don't know the exact naming scheme behind it, but I mean, like, I like other songs I like. I mean, area themes. I like Primordia. Like there's the one part in the Primordia song that I really like. It makes me think of like Shantae music. It just immediately when I heard, I'm like, oh, this is like feels like the Shantae music, like Burning Town or whatever. Like, I don't know why I thought of that. It made me immediately think of that. Which, hey man, Shantae's cool. I love those games. But yeah, music good. What else have I not really mentioned? What else is there that I can mention? Oh, I guess I haven't really talked about like I guess the big thing, Chapter 13. Because I mean, I knew this game had new stuff content for it. I've watched the trailers for this game. Obviously, I had to. I like when I first saw it, I had to watch it, and they teased the DE stuff, the new content. And I did watch the Luxon video. Like, dude, man, don't mess with Xenoblade creators. We'll make a 2-hour-long video over like a 2-minute cut trailer. I did watch that, but when they started talking about like the new stuff, like the DE and like spoiler stuff, I didn't watch that. I didn't want anything spoiled and story-related things. Play the game, and now I can watch the Luxon videos. The greatest thing after beating a Xenoblade game, you can now watch the Luxon 3-hour analysis. But I guess Chapter 13 and like what it's setting up to, I feel like that's an important thing we should talk about, because I mean, it's gonna be a few years. Predictions, looking at now, by 2027, going off of prior track records with Monolith, they are making the next game. Xenoblade 4, whatever's next, Xeno, whatever, that's the next new game. I feel like that is safe to say, which is going to be incredibly exciting. They have new hardware, Switch 2 is out. Been out for a few years, got their hands to mess around with it, which honestly kind of surprising that they didn't wait to put Xenoblade X Definitive on the Switch 2. I feel like that would have been smarter. I mean, then again, actually, who knows? I mean, for me, I would have to 1000% get my Switch to day one. I'd have to absolutely then just try a lot harder. I'm just waiting for my email from Nintendo still to even buy the thing from their store, and well, still haven't gotten it yet. So yeah, we'll just probably get it soon in these few weeks. I already mentioned that. But like, what I want to talk about that, but we should definitely talk about what that's leading up to. Well, I just had a stroke trying to pronounce all that. I don't know why, like, my brain, Xenoblade just does something to my brain to make me just have a stroke or whatever. But I really did enjoy chapter 13. It did feel kind of jarring at first, because like it's been 10 years since the original, like, chapter 12, and then like all of a sudden Van Damme's voice is like all different and changed, which I think it's that definitely like that they got a new person for Van Damme, and that's the same VA, and like his voice is just drastically changed. It's like kind of like how Melia VA, or just yeah, Jenna Coleman, because I know her name. Yeah, just sounds like her voice. It's canonically been 1 year since the events of Xenoblade 1, and like her voice is completely deep. It's just like, oh, whoa, what happened? It was a little jarring, and the like storytelling felt more akin to like, I feel like the trilogy, and the chapters were definitely a lot longer too. And obviously we have Al every other second going, hey, how's it poppin'? I don't know, what was the point of that? Just him just going, hey, how's it poppin'? Like, I know he's like trying to like lighten the mood with it or whatever, but it's just like, what? Hey, how's it poppin'? I'm never gonna, like, that's so, like, unironically funny for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe because they just bring it up so many times, and that how Cross, even during the final boss, once again, goes down, it's like, hey, how's it poppin'? You know, each Xenoblade game has, like, their one quote that you always just think about. You know, Xenoblade 1, I'm really feeling it. 2, I like your attitude. Xenoblade 3, I'm feeling full of beans. Xenoblade X, hey, how's it poppin'? Oh my god. But, yes. When I was playing it, like, I don't know, the Ghost and, like, the Demon events made me, like, immediately think of, like, the Fog Beast and, like, the Annihilation events from Xenoblade 3. Which I feel like is probably what they were leading towards, maybe. Maybe it's something supposed to be akin to Xenoblade, or Xenogears and Xenosaga, and I just don't know. Haven't played those games yet, which, we'll get to it. Now that I'm done with all the Blade games, well, that's the next thing. Xenogears and Xenosaga is next. But, dude, I can't wait. Like, they dropped, like, they name-dropped the Conduit with, like, Al, like, talking about Void's, like, memories, and, dude, I popped off. Like, oh my god, the Conduit, wait a minute. Dude, the Conduit, wait a minute. And, like, the final scene of the chapter is, like, I mean, it's a planet, but, like, is that what they're leading toward? Is that the future redeemed planet? Or Earth, I don't know what they're gonna call that. Earth 2, I guess. For, Bionis Alvarez Planet 2. Ionios, I don't know what they call it. Because is that it? And dude, the next game is just gonna be crazy if that's the case. You have, like, the Xenoblade X party meeting the 1 and 2 party, which I don't know if it's gonna be like that. Well, we don't know. I mean, also, to be speaking, I don't know, because, like, the ending shot has, like, I don't know if those were asteroids. I can't even fully picture the scene in my head right now. At, like, the top of the planet, and I don't remember that being in the future redeemed one. I'll maybe have to, like, go back and look and see if it looked like that. I don't know if it's true. It could be a different universe altogether, because, I mean, we know, obviously, I mean, literally the Conduit name drop, and it travels to, like, it just kind of goes wherever it wants to go. It left the All Rest, which was the Earth of, like, that world, which I don't, like, if they want to, I'm kind of was a little confused about if, like, Xenoblade X, like, that Earth is the same Earth that, like, Klaus is in, because, like, the scene, I feel like they would have, like, made that scene more look like the scene from 2 of, like, the beginning experiment, because they did that in, like Xenoblade, or Xenoblade 1, just the Definitive Edition makes just Alvis look like Ontos or whatever. So there's that, obviously, tying it more together. So I don't know if they're trying to say those that, because they like that they were on Earth, then left Earth with the white whale. And I don't think that's true. It could be like a different Earth universe altogether, which is probably what it is. And now they're going into that universe of where the Blade games, or where all the, like they are now with the Fused planet. It could be that, or it could be just a different planet altogether, which is also likely. Which is curious to me. Is the next Xenoblade game going to be Xenoblade X2 or something? Or are we going straight to Xenoblade 4? Because, I mean, I've already said earlier, I prefer, or I like the trilogy more. So, me personally, I would want Xenoblade 4 over X2. But, I mean, come on. The people, I think I wouldn't be opposed to an X2 because, like, they've been waiting so long. Finally got DE. And then, like, a kind of another cliffhanger like that. Dude, that is kind of crazy. That is baffling my mind. That you played the original Xenoblade X in 2015, and then you have, like, Elma saying, like, something about this planet, and you're like, alright, what's about this planet? Anyways, moving on. You don't get to know what she meant by that, which, like why all, like, the stuff is all messed up, like, the Lifehold database is like that. And they can't return to, like, their bodies or whatever. It's just, like... That's crazy, and then you finally get, like, the answer 10 years later, like that. I wonder, that's what I'm a bit curious. I wonder if that was their plan for the start to take it, to, like, because I know, like, there's the interview of after Xenoblade 1, they were already, like, playing 2 and tying 2 and 3 together and everything all together after that. It's like, they made Xenoblade 1 and then realized, oh, wait, we can cook with this. Let's tie 2 and 3 into 1 or whatever. I wonder if they did the same thing with X, if that was their intended vision. Because I don't know. And yeah. I mean, I don't know. I like Chapter 13. I like what it's just the setup. It feels like a Future Connected situation where it's setting up the next game, which, hey man, we'll be there. Be there day one. Very, very much looking forward to it. Very excited. Whatever's next, bro, we'll be there. I think that's about it. I don't know. I mean, I know the moment I end this recording, I'm going to have things that say, like, oh crap, I should have said this. But I mean, I feel like there's not much else I need to say. I've gotten my thoughts out. I met my issues. Obviously, the exploring thing is more of a me issue. But like overall, the game's a great game. It's a great game. Like I love Xenoblade X. Is it my favorite? No. The trilogy just holds way too much of a place in my heart, and I just love that style. Like the story being the way it is, more central focus compared to X's more mission based, which is cool. I still think it's like cool on its own, but it's not my preferred style. Still love the game. Like here's the thing, like even though I don't like it compared to Xenoblade like 1, 2, and 3. It's still a good game. It's not like just because I said, oh, it's like worse compared to those. I mean, it's outright bad. Because like those are 11 out of 10 games for me. And like Xenoblade X is probably sitting like at a 9 or an 8 for me. 8 or 9. This could be like, I mean, we'll have to see. Maybe a month later, I'll have like, time to mellow down, think it over, and think about it. Because, you're more in the moment. You just finished it. I feel like you maybe think a little more highly of a game. Unless it's truly bad. And like, we'll see. We'll see how I feel later down the line. But I still love the game. It's still a great game. I recommend it. If like, hey, if you want to play it, you can. Obviously, you should. But I would still definitely prefer the trilogy. Like, if someone comes to me like, hey, I want to play Xenoblade, which one should I play? I'm going to say like, oh, Xenoblade 1, Xenoblade 2 first. So it's like, you can play those ones interchangeably. The big twist of those games happen at the same time. Like, Xenoblade 2's rolling, 2's is a tiny bit earlier. Or not tiny bit, a little bit earlier. With, obviously, the Rex having the Vision, Spirit Crucible. The twist of that's sooner. And tying really more closer to the thing. And compared to 1, right at the end. Or, I mean, to be fair, at 1, you could say sooner, because Alvis is like a necklace is the same like the, the Aegis Core. But like 1 and 2 play interchangeably of each other, and then 3 I say play after 1 and 2. Now always play 1 and 2 first, 2 1, then go from there. X is just kind of there on the side, because like even though like it's thing at the end, if we even say that's the future redeemed planet, even if we say that, I think it's still fine, because it's not like, hey Alma, that's I see Shulk down there, like an older Shulk and Rex, and they're playing with like their kids or whatever. I see them down there. Oh, there's Nola and Mio right there. They're playing the flutes. It's not like that. I think you can go, yeah, you can play X whenever if you want to slot in X whenever or after. Maybe you can say after, or maybe just if you want to go in release order, that's fine. Technically speaking, go definitive edition, or not like release order of like definitive edition, but like play Xenoblade 1. Then you play, you know, Future Connector, whatever, then X, then 2, Tarna, and then 3 Future Redeemed. The only thing you really say, as long as when you play the trilogy, you have to save Future Redeemed for the last thing, and then 3 right before it. So that's the only thing I would say. But X is great, good game. There's still so much content I need to do in that game. Like, there's still other things I need to explore. I think there's I know there's mini missions I haven't done. I want to, like, you know, make up my build, get all the classes. Maybe we'll do some of more of the online stuff. With, like, the online bosses that I think, yeah, you can do with, like, what are they? I forgot what they're called. The big bosses or whatever. I know you can do online. Do that. Maybe it'll be more of a side thing. Kind of like an MMO or whatever. I mean, Xenoblade X is definitely more MMO coded out of the games. But, good game. Recommend it. I don't know how many times I can say that. It may have some issues that I have, but I mean, even if you ignore the blind issue, me just being blind. I mean, the story's definitely a little different, or not little. It's like how it's presented is different, and I still like the story in theory. Well, in theory, like it's not existing yet, but like I like the story, just the presentation and the way it's gone about. Not a fan. I prefer the way the trilogy does it more. Still a good game though. I keep saying that. I feel like me keep saying that is gonna make people think that like, nah, he must hate the game because he keeps saying it that he likes it. No. It's great. Finally glad to have fully been caught up on the series. It's awesome. Play these games. They're awesome. I love them. And probably most of everyone who's watching this video has already played the game, so it doesn't really matter. Which I mean, I would hope they are. Definitely talked about spoiler stuff with like the chapter like 13 stuff and all that, but yeah, I think that's it. I said that earlier, but I don't know what to do. I also don't know if anyone really sat through all this rambling and maybe just skimmed through. So I mean, if you sat through all this, I mean, hey, it's probably just like a podcast episode of some random guy on the internet gushing about Xenoblade X and how much enjoyed playing it. Don't know if that's up people's. I mean, you know, it's definitely up people's alley. I like listening or just watching people play Xenoblade for the first time. Love it. There's definitely gonna be something I'm gonna miss that I wish I talked about. But I feel like just the way it is. I mean, if I really want to do it, there's nothing stopping me from making another video saying I want to talk about more about Xenoblade X. I mean, there's really not. I always can. I'm sure there'll be another video down the line that I want to talk about the series more, and I will. And I'll bring up X, and if there's things I forgot, I mean, I brought the main things, you know, exploring the story, the cast of characters, what it means for like the future of the series and how I'm excited for it. I said music. I don't know really what much to say. Like the setting, I mean, I don't think I mentioned the setting, but yeah, Mira is such a cool planet. Xenoblade is such a me thing. It's sci-fi fantasy, and I love that combination. And it's just the perfect mix of the two. Definitely more sci-fi here with like the Skells, but like the Skells are cool, and I like that. And like, I'm sure there's definitely like more like lore things or like things about Mira that I've missed out on through side quests and like other things. And that's why we have Luxon videos to watch. We got a lot of Luxon lore videos to catch up on that we will definitely be watching because I want to see if I missed anything. But I mean, yeah, that's it. Don't really know how to end this. see you when Xenoblade 4 drops, even though hopefully before the next Xenoblade game drops, I'll have made more videos by then. I hope I will. No, I definitely will. I'll have made something else. Whatever it is. Whatever is Xenoblade, Mario, Persona, whatever it is. Hunky. I love gacha games. I hate gacha games. That's a lie. Anyways, thanks for watching my ramblings for how long has this recording been going on for? Oh my god. Well, I mean, now we got we had the challenge Luxon or whatever. This is my challenging that I can be ill about a game that I just finished. Bro's not gonna know about that. It's fine. Anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Tune in next time where I'm ill about something else.